Welcome to The Real MC. Joining us is Clarke Finney, morning news anchor for Big 2 News and Fox 24.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
The launch had to be you, girlfriend.
Yes, I'm so excited. I've been waiting for this launch for a while now, so this is really cool that I get to be a part of it.
Well, I love a good transformation and a good rebrand, and this feels so good for what we're doing now because we're starting to transition into more of like the holistic, mindful practices, and I feel like that Botox and booze, that just wasn't doing me any favors. The name of it and the way it was, so I think live, we're going to show y'all all the things we do here, and I think you'll get a better feel for MC aesthetics.
I'm excited. I have my hat on inside, so I'm obviously ready to go.
Okay, so I'm a hat girl. Like, I want in my heart, I'm a hat girl. Like, in my heart, I'm a hat girl, and I can't do it. I put them on, and I almost walk out the door, and I go back and, like, put my hair up. Every time I chicken out. And I'm pretty brave fashion-wise.
I mean, you have the cheetah print blazer going. I mean, you're rocking it.
Never met fringe I didn't love.
You have to do the hat.
Okay, I'm going to work on it.
I'm going to inspire you.
I'm telling you, when you came in, I was like, I'm hatting. So you're a patient here.
Yes, I am.
Tell me about, what is your favorite thing at MC Aesthetics? What's your favorite thing to do here?
Oh, man. Okay, between the facials and M-Sculpt, I would honestly have to say getting my lips done was a game changer. I think this is actually the first time I've talked about it publicly because people have noticed.
Yay!
You know, if they see me on air in the mornings, sometimes I'll get messages and they'll say, oh, something, it looks a little bit different. I can't quite pinpoint it. And I've been kind of quiet about it just because people can be a little bit more conservative out here. So I was a little hesitant at first, but I love my lips. I got a little bit filled in on the bottom and then the top part. It was just a little bit flat, and so I have been doing research and thinking about it for a while and decided, you know what, I feel comfortable with you and your services and the products that you use and how you administer certain techniques, and so I just felt really comfortable and I pulled the trigger and decided to do it, and I'm so happy I did.
I'm obsessed with them. And
I love them.
And I love what you did.
Yeah.
And what you did, it's a good process the way you did lips. People ask all the time questions about lips. Well, if I'm telling them, you know, I'm the one doing it. So it's not the same as if you say it.
You're like, I'm just going to take the syringe and I'm just going to go all out.
Just going to get you, girl.
Yeah.
No, and it's not that way because so much of the lip procedure is patient education, telling you what our products are, what to expect, but also understanding what patients' expectations are. You wanted very subtle and very natural. So we just kind of we did it in little baby steps. And that's comfortable, right?
It's so comfortable. And that's what I loved. You didn't force me into, you know, doing too much and kind of saying, oh, this is what's going to look good on your face. You said, oh, well, I think this will look good here, but how do you feel? And so we kind of eased into it at first, where you only did, I think it was half a syringe.
We did half.
And you're like, girlfriend, you're going to want to come back and do another half syringe. And I was like, I don't know. My face is swollen and I'm kind of
Maybe I'm good.
I think I'm okay. But a few days later, even when it was swollen a little bit, I was like, oh, hold on a second. I was really excited about it. So I ended up coming back and getting a little bit more done. And the healing process has been amazing. I feel no discomfort now, and now I just feel like my lips really fit my face, and
the proportion is good. You know, lips are kind of trendy. I'll be honest with you. So it's kind of whoever is in the moment and whatever we're looking at. It's funny how we are because that's what looks good to us. If you would have told me before high-waisted jeans were a thing, that I'd be back in like my Rocky Mountain style high-waisted jeans, I would like, no way. And the first time I saw them on people, I was like, oh no, mom jeans, ugly.
Please,
I don't even have anything in my closet that's not a high-waisted jean.
I'm rocking some high-waisted jeans right now. And then you have these cute ones that have the bell bottoms too now.
Oh yeah.
I saw you.
I do.
Rocking those a couple days ago, and I was excited about it. Yeah.
But lips are trendy. Our faces are trendy, just like our clothes, and people don't realize that. Like right now, what's in style and what is in fashion for lips is that proportion between the top and bottom lip. You just can't have a wimpy top lip right now and be trendy. Is that okay to say? Because it's your face, but it's a thing.
It is a thing. Yeah, and we see a lot of celebrities doing it. I feel like, especially on social media, we can kind of dig ourselves into a hole as women and say, oh, wow, this woman is so beautiful. She's so naturally beautiful, like the Victoria's Secret models, the women on cover magazines. But most likely, the majority of those women have gotten some kind of work done, whether it's an augmentation or lip fillers or even some Botox in their face in certain areas.
Or all of the above.
Or all the above, yeah.
Most of us, most people. I think it depends on how old you are.
It does.
Well, and that is such a good point, though, because like, you're in that millennial crowd, right? Okay. I love a millennial, and I'm going to tell you why. Well, like, I think it's like 60-something% of the money being spent right now. It's high. Is millennials in aesthetics. Y'all are spending all the money in aesthetics. Age 25 to 35. That's who's doing all of it. Y'all are part of that shift that we like to talk about up here. Prevention. Y'all get it. Y'all grew up in that era where you're watching moms, watching people. Botox is not as taboo. People are getting lips done. People are doing all these things, and self-care became okay. Yeah. I watched my mom. She never took care of herself, didn't do Botox until she was older. So I'm part of that. I caught the cusp of it.
Yeah.
But we focus more on correction, that age 40 to 60. We're trying to fix what's already been done. Y'all get it. Prevention is cheaper than correction, girlfriend.
It is. And it's worth the investment. That's what I'm kind of learning now. And so just finding what works for me. And I have to say, when I told people I got lip fillers, like my mom, oh my gosh.
She freaked.
We love each other. But she was like one of the first people I saw right after I got my lips done. Because remember, I was going out of town.
Oh my gosh, yes. Are you still swollen?
So they're a little bit swollen. And I get off the plane, and moms, I mean, they're so
They know.
honest.
They have that eagle eye.
They know right away. And she was like, oh, did you get
I love it. You just went Southern mama.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Yeah. And she was like, I don't know. She was trying to be polite, and she was like, okay, well, I mean, it's different, and
I love it.
They're a little swollen. I was like, yeah, Mom, I have to ice them, and I still have like that rebellious kind of edge to me. So I'm like, Mom, I do what I want. Like, I'm an adult now. I can just let me do what I want to my face. But it's still kind of taboo for her, and she's actually she had her breasts done before she be married.
My mom
because
too.
When she gave birth to me, she had sagging in certain areas. Sorry, Mom. I hope she doesn't see it.
We all know everything gets saggy after you have kids.
But it's
everything.
True. And so she took that step for herself, and I was like, well, Mom, what's different between me wanting to make this small adjustment, and I did the research, and then I made sure that my heart was in the right place and mentally I was in the right place, because it's kind of easy to get caught up in the dysmorphia and overcorrecting things on yourself and being so unhappy with certain things on your face or about your body that even when you do tweak something or fix something, it's just never good enough. And so I
find something else.
Yeah, I didn't want to go down that rabbit hole. So, but with you, I felt so comfortable, and
I won't let you
enhance what I already had. And that's what I love. So long story short, my mom was like, okay, I'll give it a chance. They're swollen right now. So I was kind of like hiding my lips
for 2 days
a little bit and doing the matte lipstick. And they look good with a lipstick on, but without any makeup, they were kind of purple at first and a little bit questionable at times. Like my dad, I was like, who are you to beat up? Did you get punched in the face by someone?
Well, and
no, Dad, I did not get punched in the face, but...
Well, luckily the bruising is usually inside the lip line, so you can kind of cover it.
It was kind of in the corners a little bit, but I'm telling you, the next day I was able to go on air, and everything's in HD. Everyone's zoomed in on your face, and so with my lipstick and everything, you couldn't even tell. It was just a little bit swollen, but now everything's healed up and evened out, and I feel great.
Well, and I love that you did it the way you did it, that it was consciously injecting. I think that people they psych themselves out because everybody gets this vision of like Kylie Jenner in their head. Now, I'm not going to hate, because I'm sorry, but her lips did change her life. But game changer
would not be a thing without her lips.
I saved this for you. I have never shown you my real lips. Okay, I'm going to show you. I found this just for you earlier.
Yo, wait, I'm actually ready.
They're so sad. It's the saddest thing I've ever viewed in my life.
Don't
so
say that.
I forgot about them. I forgot how I used to look.
Full lips like this, though.
I know, you're gonna die.
Wait. What? Are we gonna be able to put this up?
Oh yeah, I'll post it.
Okay.
I wish we could. Can you see this?
That is so.
I don't know if y'all can see that. Toby, can y'all see that? I have seriously no top lip. I have 0 top lip.
Oh my god.
And a sad little bottom lip.
It's still working though.
So
it gets the job done.
I wasn't starting with this fabulous, not like, isn't that crazy that that's my real mouth? I was trying to tell somebody earlier and I thought, Clarke will die if I show her my real lip. She will not believe. But
I can't believe it.
But it's conscious injecting. You know, I started with now going back to our moms.
Yeah.
My mom, I mean, no one even put sunscreen on me as a kid.
Oh,
like,
no.
lived on a ranch in West Texas. Like, if we, you know, if could have gotten it, it was too far. So
Right.
just whatever. And I was their only blonde, freckly kid, that kid. And so I never took care of myself, never even washed my makeup off at night until I was like 19 years old. Ooh. Swear, because no one told me to. She started working for a plastic surgeon, and my mom is an esthetician, became an esthetician, and started doing, so her shift into this industry is what brought me to it. Because it was the first time someone told me to wear sunscreen, wash my face, and then you see what a difference that makes, or you get a set of lips. My lips are what we're talking about, like game changers. My lips are the reason that I do all the things that I do, because those were my real lips. Yeah. And having your lips done, I tell everyone, if they come in here and say, what's the one thing I can get my mom or my grandma or my sister that will make them feel like $1 million if I'm going to do one thing, it's lips.
Yeah. They
make you feel cute when you walk into a room, as long as you don't overdo them.
Right.
So.
And I mean, it's so hard to find facilities that can actually administer the proper procedures and do it safely. And the moment I walked in here and started working with you, I felt comfortable. And you know what you're talking about, you know what you're doing. The people that work here, they're not just, you know, someone from off the street that's like, hey, I got my certificate and did a 5-hour course. No, they're trained to be able to handle these kind of procedures. And so it immediately put me at ease, but the whole time I just felt like, okay, I'm in good hands, and I can trust that what I want to be done is going to be done properly and safely.
And consciously.
As well. Mm-hmm.
I have a thing about people coming in here and asking for a bunch of stuff at once. Mm-hmm. When you said earlier, I love what you said, and I know we kept going, but you were talking about how before you did anything to your face or to your body, before you do anything like that, you make sure you do a little inner, what do you call that? Soul searching.
Yeah.
Am I in the right space, the right headspace? Mentally, am I ready for this? Yeah. Or am I trying to fix something else? Because this is not going to fix your marriage or your kid's report card or your boyfriend's breakup. It needs to be about you. And I love that, not that I love that you were like, hey, Mom, but I love that you decided it and you didn't care what anybody else thought about it and you were going to own it. That's how it needs to be done.
You know what? Even my boyfriend, because I didn't tell him that I was getting it done. I kind of kept it from him.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
He noticed right away when he kissed me. He was like, there's something different here. And he was like, well, babe, I loved you the way that you were, and you're perfect and beautiful, and I don't know, I don't want you to get work done. And there was something kind of empowering about that, where it's like, okay, here's this person that does love me for who I am, but I let him know, hey, I'm not going to go crazy and do all this stuff at once, but I really wanted to do this. It's something that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and he was very supportive, really understanding. But in that moment when I was a little bit sassy, because I was sassy with my mom, we're polar opposites, and so it was kind of my time, you know, coming back home from moving out here and visiting her. I'm just like, oh,
brought home some Texas lips.
Right. But it was empowering because it was kind of one of the first decisions that I made outside of, you know, moving into my apartment and making certain decisions with my career and things like that, where it was my decision. It was totally up to me. And I came to you and I said, hey, I want to do this. And then you helped me make it happen. So it was very empowering. And I'm so happy with my decision.
I think all men are like that, seriously, by nature. My 15-year-old...
You don't need to do anything to your mouth.
My 15-year-old works here. His job is to help people get things done, and he'll tell me, like, I don't know why you're doing that crap. And I'm like, Garrett, so it's like they're born that way.
Yeah.
My husband, he always does this thing where he tricks me and tells me he's going somewhere, and we're not like codependent, but... Yeah. Like, if he goes to the bathroom for too long, I have to tell him, like, where are you at? So we're kind of,
did you?
Yeah, like, I mean, I miss him when he's gone.
Worst case scenario, he fell off the toilet, he bumped his head on something.
He's a goner. I should check on him. Yes.
Yes.
And so, not codependent, but whatever that is. But he always tells me he's going somewhere for 2 or 3 days, and Bible, he comes back the next day, and I have to eat dinner like this for, like, 30 minutes until I'm like, what, I always eat this way, and get busted.
What? No.
Gets mad every time. And then about a month in, he'll go, I really love your lips. They really look good. They always do that.
They always do, every time. Yeah, and my boyfriend is not complaining anymore.
No, that's what I'm saying. They like it after a minute, so sometimes you got to help them a little bit. Don't let that keep you from doing what you want to do.
Right.
I mean, unless it'll cause a divorce. I'm not trying to do that. Don't do that.
Within reason.
Within reason. So you've had a facial here.
Yes.
Which facial did you have?
Oh, man.
Was it the Hydrofacial MD?
It was the MD.
bells and whistles.
It was like microderm.
It was a red carpet. I mean, if we're gonna do it,
carpet.
honey, go red carpet.
Yes.
Okay.
But that was actually amazing, and afterwards, I felt totally different. Like I'm not one to
Like a
hype
new
something
face.
up if it's not legit. And after that facial, it was just, my skin felt so clean, cleaner than it had the longest time, because I do live in Odessa, so my water is not the cleanest water. I mean, most of us have to wash our
Midland,
face
Odessa.
with the sink water. We shower with the sink water, so that gets into our hair, our skin. And after almost, 2 years of living here, that's what my skin grew used to. But going through that facial process and everything, I mean, the next day, my oiliness had dissipated a little bit. My breakouts were completely clear. It was amazing, and my skin felt so soft and fresh. And so after that, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to take care of my skin now, because it like was a clean slate almost.
It's so important. I love that you said that. I tell people all the time, sometimes coming to us to have something done is as much about a mindset as it is about the procedure or a practice, or we're trying to re-inspire you to do the things you're supposed to do at home. So think of coming to us and getting a facial as getting your teeth cleaned at the dentist. You still have to brush your teeth at home, right?
Right, you have to maintain it.
When we tell you, you need to do this, this, and this, and you go home and do that, it's like it's not just about that one procedure. It's about the 30 days between that and the next one. What you do at home, and we'll teach you that, obviously. But we're doing something different that you don't know about, and I'm so excited because you're gonna love it.
Okay.
You're from, where are you from again?
Orange County.
Orange County.
California. SoCal, yeah.
So would you say that you're a little more open to like the holistic practices than we are? Like, there's not a lot of that going on out here, right?
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah, it's different. I feel like it's something that's kind of up and coming, and so I see it peeking its head out more and more in the culture out here, which is pretty cool, because back in California, it's the norm. I mean, people have crystals, people are going to see holistic specialists, but I've noticed that there's more of a drive to pay more attention to mental health and how you are mentally and how you are on the inside, because that absolutely affects how you look on the outside.
1,000,000%. Affects the person you are, the mom you are, the girlfriend you are. The way you look affects the way you feel. So I tell people up here 24/7, it's not about the way you look, it's about the way you feel. I say it about slim shots, about a facial, about your lips. It's not about getting those lips and you and your selfies. It's about the way you feel when you walk into a room with those lips.
Yes.
And I think that's a huge thing. But I feel like that when you get a facial here, especially like the more intense, more medical facials, there's a lot of interaction, a lot of talking, and you look up and you don't even realize that an hour and a half has gone by.
It's so true.
You missed the moment, right?
My experience was it was relaxing and almost therapeutic in a way, because there are multiple steps in that process, and it wasn't as intense. I was a little intimidated because you did tell me, okay, this is a medical treatment where we're really going under the skin and you're sucking the bad stuff out, but also injecting, the good stuff into the pores. And I was like, I'm sorry, what are you injecting into my face? Yeah. So, but going through that process, it wasn't painful at all, but I just felt that deep clean, and it was relaxing. I mean, the lighting, the ambiance was there, and then also I forgot who I was working with. I can't remember if it was Hannah or someone else.
Bailey or Bridget.
Bailey or Bridget. Okay.
It was like Bailey on your facial.
The conversation was just it was so nice and comfortable, and I remember I was doing a live about it because I wanted to go live and show people, hey, this is what's happening in the moment.
Your skin baby in the jar. Ew.
Oh gosh, the vial. I think I have that
gross.
on my social media somewhere, but the vial with the oil and all the gunk that had kind of been living in my skin for God knows how long. But it was an amazing experience, and I just felt so refreshed afterward, and it was a de-stressor for me.
Well, and you cannot, and I feel the same way when I do the hydrofacial MD, but you cannot exfoliate that way at home on that level, no matter what you're doing. And people don't understand how important, we put a post on our Instagram earlier, I think, about exfoliation. People don't understand how important it is to exfoliate, because at night your face does all the magic. It reabsorbs whatever is on the surface. That's why you have a clean face. You exfoliate before you go to bed. You put your repair serum on and a good heavy moisturizer. Because all night long, that's when your face does its magic. Not in the daytime. While you sleep, it's going to regenerate and reabsorb whatever's on the surface. So if you have dead old skin sitting there and makeup from 3 days ago, I mean, I never did it, but I heard about people. And that's what you're reabsorbing. You're just, and so your skin gets dull and old over time. So you do need to do that hydrofacial MD periodically to get that level of exfoliation. But what we're bringing to MC Aesthetics is a whole different kind of facial. It's more of an experience. So it's the MCA Mindful Experience. We are going to actually force you to put your phone up, like phone, bye-bye, turn it off, put it up for 60 to 80 minutes, whichever increment you choose. But for that 60 to 80 minutes, we're going to talk to you, coach you through, and give you exercises for mindfulness while we do aromatherapy, a little bit of light massage, hot rock therapy, and you get an Eminence Organics facial. So it's more of an experience. And it is literally, we want you to purposefully relax and have peace and take a minute to be in that moment. And it's not just about the facial, it's about taking those practices with you outside of here and incorporating them into your everyday life. Do you know anything about mindfulness?
I do, actually. Okay, so when you asked me to be on for the relaunch of your brand, which I'm so excited about, you did mention mindfulness, and that's actually something I've been practicing in my life recently. And it's a practice because you have to make a conscious effort to be mindful. And it's something in my life that I just realized it wasn't a priority at a certain point, because I'm in the TV industry. So constantly, I mean, there's news happening, there's breaking news happening. Every day there's something new, because that's just how it is in this industry. But making the conscious effort to decide, okay, this is how long I'm going to focus on work. This is how long I'm going to be on social media, because it is a part of my job. But then consciously saying, okay, now I get to shut it off and take a break for however long. And I'm actually taking a social media break.
I saw that.
Outside of work, yeah. So on Instagram, if you're following me on Instagram already, you can see that I have like a BRB, peace out. But it's a post that's just saying, you know, my phone, it has a function on it where it can kind of track your screen time.
I didn't know
usage.
that.
Yeah, I had
that.
a function on my iPhone. You have to open it up in your settings and allow it to be active on your phone. But basically, it said on average for a week, 5.5 hours per day I spent with my screen open. That's just screen time. So that's like when your phone is on, you're dialing a number or on Instagram or whatever outlet. And it just
wake up
caught
call.
Me off guard. It was a wake up call, because if you think about 5.5 hours, that's borderline what a part-time job is. And
I'm gonna look at mine later. I'm
so
scared.
you're just on Instagram or Facebook or whatever the case is. But I realized that it was something I would do the moment I woke up. You know, I'd get on my phone and kind of scroll, and that was what I did to wake up. And then coming home, I would, you know, be relaxing and looking at my phone, and that's how I kind of decompress or relax. But it was just mindless scrolling and liking and commenting on stuff. And yeah, I love interacting with people.
Other people's feelings.
Yeah. And it just became like a reflex almost. Like it was muscle memory for me to just pick up my phone and scroll and like stuff and post stuff. And like I said, it's a part of my job, but I was thinking, you know what? I have this constant feeling of, you know, thinking there's not enough time in a day for me to accomplish what I want to accomplish.
Overwhelmed,
or enjoy
stressed
what I
out.
Want to enjoy. Yeah, just always on edge.
God, I have to hit my phone.
Yeah.
That's me.
But in that 5 hours, I mean, that's time to go to the gym. It's time to read, call loved ones that I haven't talked to in forever because I'm so wrapped up in work, and consciously making that effort and being mindful of my actions and choices that I'm making. And so by choosing to take a break, I've had to, I mean, over the past few days, it's been awkward because I'll reach for my phone and then I'll say, oh no, I can't.
How long was your break?
So my break is going until this Friday. I wanted to do a week long.
I love that.
And just decompress, not go on Instagram at all for any reason. But on Facebook, be on there for work in the morning because I have to stay updated on what's going on in the
Right.
news world and things like that. But after work, no work emails, no Facebook, just pulling back, taking that break. And so far it's been good. It's been awkward because I'm like, oh, well, now I have all this time on my hands. But now I get to choose, okay, how am I going to spend my time? And when you're consciously thinking about it, you're building better habits already. I've even noticed that for 2 days I've been doing this. And it's been amazing to actually feel things,
Well, in a world like overstimulation, we know that that's our problem. It's our problem with our kids. It's the damn iPads, the phones. It's all of it.
Yeah.
Overstimulation is a problem. Social media for me, I feel like when you more than me even, I'm just partly doing it because I think I want to, but that's your business platform.
Yeah.
Social media is the way, that's how you build your job and you build yourself. And I'm doing that same thing too, but you just can't let it take over your life. I found myself, Clarke, when my kids are asking me things, and it can be so important, and it's not, but to them it is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, just a minute. Okay, just a second. Okay, just a minute.
Just like, let me just post this really.
And it's freaking Instagram.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter, like in real life.
Yeah.
I should stop and give the huggle smuggle or whatever it is that they're asking for,
Wait, is that a thing that you call
A huggle smuggle. I have a little one that
I'm
always,
sorry.
Mama huggle smuggle, and I'm like, just a minute. Isn't that terrible? Like, I'm a terrible human. When you can't stop for a huggle smuggle, yes.
Oh no.
Yeah, when he's about to get in trouble with his dad, he'll go, Daddy, you gonna hit me in the babushki? And we're like, well, nobody can hit you in the babushki now. We're like, it's a threat anyway.
I know,
really?
No.
He doesn't know how to.
Huggle smuggle though.
Yeah, he gets huggle smuggles is what he gets. That's the problem.
Oh my gosh.
Well, we went on vacation with our 15-year-old, and I hope you're not watching Garrett, but I realized that I have taught him that. I've taught him not to tune in. I've taught him to ignore me. I've taught him to ignore his brothers and tune them out, not because it's loud and annoying and noisy, and it's easier just to be on your phone and hold on, what? And not tuned in. And I feel like that by example, I'm teaching that. And so that's this whole mindfulness for me shift. When I went to Costa Rica, I did it quite a bit. I have one kid who doesn't mind doing it with me. It was like, so we're just going to lay on the ground and think about clouds? Well, yeah, think about clouds.
He's like, Mom, that's not cool.
And
I can't lay down for more than 5 minutes.
No, and he's like 8. He did so great. But
that's awesome.
mindfulness is, for me, I think of it as like a stripped down meditation.
Yeah.
Like stripped down, like meditation for dummies. You can do it anywhere. You can do it in your car. You can do it while you get an Eminence organic facial. You can do it at the bank when you're waiting in line to make a deposit, whatever. It is taking a minute, focusing on your breath or a cloud, like I told Jackson, focusing on one thing and relaxing your entire body and being in the moment. And like you said earlier, that kind of stuff, like whatever you're doing, trickles into every aspect of your life.
It does.
You know?
And I love what you said about being in the moment. I think today was the first real taste that I got, because the first day I was still kind of getting adjusted, and I was thinking, okay, I'm going to set my phone here so I don't look at it. I'm going to put it on Do Not Disturb. And I was more so trying to avoid it. And there wasn't a fear there, but there was a nervousness, like, oh, I'm going to cave in. Like, my self-control is just going to be non-existent, and at some point I'm going to pick up my phone. But got past that part, so that was good. But day 2, today, I was walking outside, and I didn't have my phone in my hand. It was in my purse. And I just remember thinking, wow, the sun feels really nice right now.
I love that.
And that's so simple. It's such a simple thing that I feel like you don't think about at all. You just go outside and you're like, oh, the sun's there. I can see it, the light out. But I was like, oh, it feels so good on my skin. It was a little hot. I mean, it's West Texas. But to be in that moment and to actually feel something and to be aware that I'm feeling it, it gave me chills. I
just got them.
I mean, I just got them now too. But it was such a powerful moment for me, because in that moment I realized, we prioritize social media so much and our cell phones so much, and it's kind of like, okay, I mean, I remember when I was younger and we had those little flip phones.
Oh, yeah.
And, the texting plans where there was a data limit and your mom would scream at you
Yeah.
if you went over there.
You
like,
could
"How
play
could you have
Tetris on it."
possibly," you played Snake for 60 minutes straight.
Yeah.
Like, what was wrong with you? But it was a different time where we didn't have access to Wi-Fi and internet, and Instagram and Snapchat, they weren't a thing, and dating apps weren't a thing, and we couldn't access our emails through our phone. And so
I got a home phone in 8th grade. I lived in the country.
a
and
home phone,
a home
like the big ones.
Like a home telephone that would
Yes.
plug into a wall, and I thought that like I won the lottery because I finally had a phone like all my friends because I live so far in the country.
Yeah.
So I'm coming from no home phone till I was 14 to glued to my cell phone.
Yeah.
And teaching my kids that.
And
Because we're not feeling what is happening around us, and you hit the nail on the head. When you
It
feel
takes
the
over.
sun for the first time in like how long? And you go,
Yeah.
oh wow, that's a God thing. Like you start
It
to
is.
see God everywhere, and that's what I've been trying to do is take a minute, and I see him in my kids, I see him in, like you said, sitting outside. I have a beautiful backyard. I've lived there 3 years. I've never sat out there without my cell phone and just enjoyed it. Never. So
And then I feel like in that moment too, when I realized, oh, the sun feels nice, I had a moment where I was thinking, well, I've been in the sun. Like I've been outside every single day. I walk outside. I'm out, running errands, doing whatever. The sun's been there. I just haven't been there.
you have not been there.
And so in that moment, it's really powerful. It hits you. And I actually got kind of emotional because I was thinking, what else have I missed out on? Whether it's a conversation with someone where I'm kind of half in, half out, like one foot is in the water.
Me and my
the other
kids.
one, yeah. And you're kind of half hearing what they're saying. But you're updating whatever on social media or looking through text or whatever. And I don't know if that's like an anxiety thing or what it is, but it's this attachment. And I realized, I have so much control over this. I manage my social media platforms. I'm working to revamp my brand a little bit and to get more engaged with the community. But I had a moment where I was like, you know what? I could shut this whole thing down if I felt like it right now.
Maybe if we start looking at it like a problem instead of the solution to our problems, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like being not being healthy, not working out, not eating right. Like we know that's bad, and so we strive every day not to do it. I just feel like we need to make it more of a thing. Like being on your phone 24/7 is a bad thing. Like you can't do it.
It is.
You're missing your whole life. You are going to wake up. The only thing you can't get back is time. And you're missing all your time and with all your people, because I am. This is my biggest struggle in my life right now is, like you said earlier, enough time in your day. I'm scared. I'll screenshot that to you later. I'll tell you how much I'm on my phone, but it can't be good. It's got to be up
I'm
there
really
in the
curious.
5.5 hours.
And
plus.
I think there's a balance too, because in this day and age, there's so many different ways to be able to capture moments. When you're out with friends and you want to take pictures or you want to take a selfie. I love airdropping pictures and sending pictures to my friends the next day and being like, look, your one eye was off in this other direction.
Right.
Just there's moments where there's joy and it's so fun, but finding a balance between, okay, yeah, we can take pictures, maybe block out time in the beginning when we're going to get something to eat or afterwards to take pictures and capture that moment, but not having it be a constant, like I'm going to walk you through a day in my life every single day.
Categorizing it just like we do the gym or like we do breakfast, lunch, dinner, categorizing it as something that we have to do. I mean, if that's part of your job, obviously you have to do it, but it doesn't have to consume you or take your moments away that are actually going to matter later, not that post.
And it controls you too. And just realizing, oh, I'm the one, this is an inanimate object. Like I have control. I'm the one paying for the phone plan. I'm the one paying, like making the accounts, uploading photos. You're ultimately the one that's in control of what you do with what your phone is allowing you to do it with. And so once I realized that, it has shifted something in my mind to where now those habits are kind of trickling down into other areas in my life where I'm wanting discipline and more openness and just being more in the moment. Even talking to you now.
Same.
It's a live podcast, a live stream, but we're so in the moment when we're talking that it's nice. Everything is just kind of flowing.
Well, and I feel like when you're talking about it, like trickling into other areas, like I feel like, don't you think that mindfulness, like it starts to trickle into how you spend money? It starts to trickle into how you eat.
Yeah.
You start to mindfully eat. Concentrate on your food. Chew it the appropriate amount of times. I did not realize I was like literally inhaling my food like a truck driver on the run, like while I was on my phone, like a chicken nugget and a French fry on the way by while I'm posting
Just
something to
scarfing it down
Instagram,
and
pretending like I'm eating something fancy, like with my glass of wine. Hey, really, it was a chicken nugget and a French fry, like you know. And so it's trickling over, and I'm starting to, like you said, once you put that discipline in place and keep reinforcing it and categorize it, maybe, like it's getting better. I'm mindfully eating. I'm mindfully parenting. Like my patience level is so much better. Yes, because Hug Will Smart Will, like that one wears on you. I was telling production earlier, I wouldn't take that one kid to Kent Quick, but like I will. I feel bad about that. I'll take him to Kent Quick. He can have a cherry limeade. He can have a cherry limeade. Fine.
Oh my gosh, I love that too. And it's funny because you know, you have all these followers and friends and things like that you're interacting with every day. But once that phone goes off, it's interesting to see who really is there. He'll check in on you, who you consciously want to spend your time with. Because immediately when I put my phone down, I was thinking, oh, you know, I should probably give my mom a call. Or let me meet up with this person and get coffee. Or and so it was interesting to see who I chose, who I wanted to spend that time with that I was getting back. Because now it's like, okay, I'm consciously making this effort to get this time back that I felt like I was losing, which I wasn't losing, I was giving it up myself, but reprioritizing that and then saying, okay, who do I want to share this time with?
I am so going to admit this right now because, well, mostly because I'm about to cry, but I got a text from one of my sisters about 2 weeks ago, and it basically said that. Like, oh no, I can't even. But it basically said, like, you used to have so much time for me and for my kids and for all of this stuff. And my response to her was how busy I am and how my own kids are struggling for time with me. You know what I mean? That is not appropriate. And so when I look at that later, it's going to probably make me sick. And I'll be like, I'm sorry then, sister. When I look at that, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry now. But my mom, she has called me, this is no lie, she's called me like probably 10 times in a week. Do you know how many times I've called her back? Twice. And I let it go to voicemail, didn't leave a message because I was busy. Yeah. Probably was not that busy. So I've had like some rude awakenings recently that have made me really have to reevaluate my mindfulness, my phone use, all of it. Yeah. I feel like.
And so reevaluating, you know, what's important to you.
People that you love.
Yeah. That has been the number one focus in my life over the last few weeks too, because I've had people in my life say, hey, I miss you. And I have invested in new friendships out here. Like I have a really good friend. Her name is Alyssa, and we've just been bonding so much. And so I love spending time with her. We talk a lot, but just making time for people like my grandparents, giving them a call, my mom, because they're getting older and I'm getting older, and I have the same excuse where it's like I'm busy with work. You know, I have to wake up at 1:15 in the morning. You're calling me, and there was one moment where it hit me hard because my mom did call me and I picked up and I would kind of roll my eyes and be like, oh, it's like a nuisance.
Mom seriously
like, oh my gosh, it's like a trigger when her name pops up or her caller ID pops up. And same. I answered and I was like, hey, what's going on? And I was very short because I had a long day and I was just ready to decompress and relax at home. But she goes, oh, hey, I miss you so much. How are you doing? And she just sounded kind of sad. And that's what made my heart hurt, is when she, just hearing that sadness in her voice, and she's like, well, I wanted to catch you before you got too busy, and I wanted to say hi, and I love you. And it sucked me back into that moment.
Well, they need us.
Just being aware and remembering, oh yeah, I have a mom.
I have grandparents.
Yeah, that's thinking about me and cares about me and wants to have that relationship with me. But I just kind of bulldoze through life, and I have these goals that I'm setting for myself.
Same, girl. Got to make stuff happen.
And it's like, yeah, but don't forget all the people that were there, you know, changing your diaper or feeding you or supporting your dreams, you know.
Well, they won't always be there, and they're part of that time that you're not going to get back. And I think we're kind of in the same place at the same time. I'm just like a really lot older than you. But I think we're kind of going through that same time. And I know it has to do with social media and the overstimulation and not taking time to stop and taking a minute. So I want you to, for sure, next week come in and try our new facial, and I want you to tell me all about it and tell me what you think.
I'm going to cry. Oh, I'm going to cry.
No, I want you to try it. I want you to experience it.
I'd love to try it. And going back to just prioritizing people in our lives, one thing that happened recently was my mom. So she gave me a call and I didn't answer. And then she sent me a text and said, hey, I saw your post on Instagram. You look so beautiful. And I miss you so much. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, this
Couldn't
is my
answer,
mom.
but you can post that picture.
I can post it, and she saw it, and she was like, well, I'm following you there now because that's how I stay in touch with you. Like, I can see what you're doing, and I'm so proud of you. And I just lost it. Absolutely lost it. And it's a platform. Like, it's just this stupid, I mean, it's amazing to be able to connect with people, but at the end of the day, it is a platform.
It's not your mama, it's not your kid, it's not your boyfriend, it's not your grandma,
and the
it's
fact
not your
that
husband.
she was trying to, I mean, even still, when I'm not answering the phone and doing all this stuff and, you know, prioritizing other things, she's still trying to find a way to me.
As if she's not busy too, like for real. You know,
and so
that's how I
that
had
was
to think.
kind of another wake-up call for me where I said, you know what, I really need to call her and say, hey, how's it going? And she was shocked, which made me even more sad. She was shocked that I called. I initiated the call, and I said, oh, Mom, you know, hey, how are you doing? How was your day? And she was like, she had to figure out, like,
Freaked
what to
out.
tell me about her day.
Why is she calling me?
And she was like, do you need something? Is your apartment on fire? Like,
Is
I
your
can
car
borrow
broke
you some
down?
money. And I'm like, no, because I'm paying my own bills now. You know, I'm taking care of
Like
myself.
real life, yes.
And she wants so badly to, I mean, she's not making me dinner and she's not doing certain things. So she wants to be a part of that in some way. So she's like, oh, did something happen? And she's so willing to be there to help me when I need it. But I just said, no, I just wanted to see how you're doing. And it was like the best thing she had heard all day.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, reality check. Even though we're so different, she's still my mom. And that was a moment for me where I was just like, you know what, I can't, you know, keep just texting and being on my phone digitally. I need to talk to people.
That is kind of, well, I have a 15-year-old, so he starts driving in November, right? And the other day when he was leaving the kitchen, he was like, so basically all I need you for is like laundry and food. And I was like, oh my God. Like, that hit me.
Like,
I mean, I wanted to, but he's so big. He's like 6'2". I'm not doing anything. I'm just like, yes, sir. But he walked off, and I thought, that is so true, because they check out. You know, your kids check out and go do their own life, and you've only got time with people when they're tuned in with you for that time. And if you don't respond, then what? I get ready when he's at college. Really, he's going to have time for me then, you know? So.
And that's the age, I mean, for me especially, that was when I started getting more independent, and I was like, oh, you know, I'm not bringing my friends over to my parents' house to hang out, and like, I'm going on dates, and I'm going out to the movies and doing my own thing. And as I got older, okay, well, I'm going out of town on this trip, and college happens, and then you're the one kind of scrambling, and you're like, well, wait, are you going to be home for Christmas? Are you going to be home for Thanksgiving? And they're like, oh, I'll see, I may be with my girlfriend. What girlfriend? And it just, time blows by, and then I'm so sorry. But it does blow by, and you realize, oh, they changed, but then these habits, as they're getting older, they're so used to you being disconnected and them doing their own thing, that they're like, oh, well, this is the norm for me. I'm going to go do my own thing too. And then you're thinking, oh, I wish we had that time. I wish I did huggle smuggle.
More huggle smuggle. And I wish I didn't teach my 15-year-old to disconnect from me on his phone. You know, that'll
happen in his relationships too, because it happened with me. And my boyfriend, bless his heart, he's so sweet.
Still hanging in there?
Still hanging in there. Oh, yeah. We've been together that's a whole other story for it. That could be a whole podcast
that's another podcast, relationships.
But he told me, you know, I feel like you're not listening to me when I'm talking to you, because we'll be driving in the car and I'll kind of be on my phone doing whatever. And he's sharing something with me. And then he'll ask me a question and I just go, yeah. Or, yeah. And he's like, babe, I was telling you this story. And usually it's reversed, where the woman, I feel like sometimes is more, hey, I was telling you something. But when he said that to me, I was like, oh, I mean, for a while I was a little bit stubborn, but he kind of brought me back to myself, and I realized, oh, I'm disconnecting from him. That's not good for a relationship. When someone is sharing a story with you and communicating with you and opening themselves to you, and it's kind of like the opposites of a magnet where you just bounce off of each other. He was like trying to connect, and I was just over here in my own little world. And so that, you know, it didn't cause issues, but it made him notice, okay, you're on your phone way too much. And building those habits to talk and make eye contact and to be in the moment consciously, I mean, it's changed everything for us.
I think disconnected is like the key word of the night. Like, we are all disconnected. None of us are tuned in. None of us are treating our relationships like they are, as valuable as they are, because we are spending too much time on our phones. In all of what workplace doesn't revolve around social media at this point?
Yeah.
What doesn't? I mean, everything does. The world kind of does.
Yeah.
And so I think, like you said, we can't, at this point, it's almost like food or like the gym. Like, you can't get rid of it because it matters, but too
Right.
much of it's bad for you. So you have to just compartmentalize it, I feel like.
And you're totally in control.
You
Of
are in
everything.
control.
And I mean, if you look at different personalities and people that have a ton of followers on their accounts and things like that, they have teams managing their accounts. And a lot of people don't see the nitty gritty and the behind the scenes of what it takes to actually manage a social media account or a presence or a brand. All of that, if you look at, who am I thinking? Like Olivia Culpo, Kylie Jenner, other people, they have scheduled posts, they have teams managing their stuff, they have people looking at the aesthetics of their page where there's a theme and it has a clean cut kind of, there's everything going on behind the scenes. And some celebrities are just like, I'm going to let my people handle it and they can do the captions and they can figure out what kind of hashtags to use because I'm going to be over here in my world, because it drives them crazy. It drives them to drinking and drugs. And I mean, we could really get deep into this.
Social media is that big of a thing. It
is.
takes over.
But for me, because I'm not, I have my verified accounts and things like that, and followers are important to me, and I do want to interact with people, but I have so much control because I am my management team. And so when I feel like shutting it off, I can shut it off. And just deciding, okay, how much am I going to prioritize, my life and having my freedom and not kind of being a slave to, oh, what time is it? Like, what's my algorithm saying about my interactions and hits today? And what time should I be posting? No, I post whenever I want.
Unplugging and not caring.
Well, just not caring. So that's been like a different transition for me as well. Just saying, I'm going to post what I feel like because I can, but also I'm not going to let other people dictate what I do on top of that. That set the foundation, but then also being able to disconnect and say, hey, I'm going to be human for a few days without my phone, and that's fine too.
I have a friend who's a lot like in the same industry that you're in, and she was telling me the other day, I was kind of, not like cry bitching, but kind of cry bitching a lot about social media, and I'm saying, the same thing we're talking about.
Yeah.
And she said,
it's
sucking the life out of me. And I'm doing it to myself,
Yeah.
knowingly, but she said, don't you think they'll like it better when you take a break, and won't they miss you? And I was like, oh, that's a good point. She said, trust me, take a minute, it'll be better when you get back.
Yeah.
And she was so right. So I did that at the most important moment ever for social media for MC Aesthetics at the aesthetic show, mostly because I'm a degenerate gambler, but
also, we went to Vegas. Yes. Oh my gosh.
Also because of social media,
Yeah.
and just kind of tuning into whatever I was doing, I got off, and people noticed that I got off, and people noticed when I was back, and nobody went anywhere. Like, it's going to be there when we get back.
It will.
Well, that's what we're trying to do up here. We're trying to make you do this. We're going to make you schedule. So you got to come in for 80 minutes next week and unplug and tell me what you think. I want your California vibe.
That sounds good.
And like the world you're coming from. And I want you to tell me what you think of our version of what y'all are doing in Midland. Okay?
I love it.
Okay, because
I'm so down for it.
Unplugging for that 60 to 80 minutes is probably the only way that I will actually ever really put my phone up.
Yeah.
And so maybe I need one once a week, once a day. I don't know.
Once a week.
Once a
Yeah,
week.
scheduling it in. But I love that. And so this is something that you're integrating into your, because I remember when I first spoke with you, when I first came here, and I was like, first of all, the decorations are gorgeous. I love them. But you said that a huge aspect to your brand and what you're doing is, mindfulness, and it's a holistic approach to your health and taking care of yourself, because the inside, it does radiate on the outside. And so preventative measures and things like that with technology and different things that, people haven't even seen out here, or people don't even really have access to in the bigger cities, but also like coupling that with therapy in a way.
Well, yeah.
Just disconnecting from the craziness and kind of being in that moment and being aware of, okay, how do I feel?
And we have our holistic guru up here, I can't talk, Tanya. She does Reiki.
Tanya yet,
oh my
so
gosh,
I'm
girlfriend,
ready.
you have to get in there. You need to do Reiki with her. I think
She's always so busy.
I know.
Everyone's like, oh, listen, let me check her schedule.
Okay, I have a
you're gonna
special
need
in. I have a special in. I can get you in. But her Reiki is amazing, and it's like her room is kind of the foundation, or like the core of what we're trying to accomplish up here. So, right now it's a facial. Right now we have a facial where you have to be mindful for 60 to 80 minutes. Again, it's about the practices that you're taking with you, not just that facial. The facial is amazing, by the way.
Right.
Without the mindfulness, it's fabulous.
I'm already excited about the facial,
Yeah.
because the one that
It's
I got, it was life-changing. Even my makeup, like the way I did my makeup for TV the next day, it just sat on my face perfectly.
It's like you're glowing.
I had a moment, I looked in the camera and I was like, oh, wait, the wrinkles that I had in certain areas, just because, and I'm 26, so my wrinkles aren't, they're not
so
existent,
jelly.
but it's the dryness in the air and the different elements out here that was just beating at my skin that I wasn't even aware of. And even some stuff that I did at home, some skincare routines that were actually damaging my skin, like different scrubs I was using on my face that were a little bit abrasive and they were actually causing micro tears in my skin.
If you're using St. Ives, stop. And that's it.
The beads are a little aggressive. And that
too much.
They have like sand in there or something. I don't know what it was.
But
it was a little too harsh on my skin, and so my skin would feel a little bit irritated. And of course, with those micro tears, you can't really see them on the surface, but you can sure as heck feel them. And then your makeup gets into them, and that's a whole, other issue. But
I think it's more important in a dry, it's always important everywhere, but more so out here because it is so dry. And like you said, you could see a change in your skin when you got out here.
Yeah.
I'm from West Texas, but I moved off for a little while, and I spent probably a year melting in front of a fan trying to put makeup on because it was so humid. I was like, who can live this way? I could not wear makeup for about a year because it would literally melt.
Yeah.
But then moving back out, I was up there for a while. Moving back out here, I literally feel like my skin aged 5 years in one. Like I felt like I got old overnight because I'm not 26. Like little,
Well, you look so good though.
When I'm blonde with dry skin, freckly, that skin,
freckle, yeah.
That skin. So, but we do have to try harder out here. We live in the desert.
Yes.
Our water sucks. It is what it is. It's the price of this fabulous oil patch, but we got to take extra precautions to take care of our skin and to keep it moist and hydrated.
Yeah. And I think after doing the facial, I saw that where I guess I had gotten into my routine and I was just kind of like, okay, well, this is the water that I have to use. And so I'm going to use it. And, my skin did kind of adapt and it got used to it. But after the facial, it was, I'm telling you, my skin felt so clean, so fresh, getting all that gunk out. It was a totally different feeling. And it made me realize, oh, wow, wait, I need to be taking way better care of my skin. And the water that I was using was not good. I'm still working on that, but there are different ways that you can kind of offset the negative impact of that with moisturizers and different products and things like that. But after that facial, it was like hitting the reset button, but then it made me want to maintain it.
It's just like losing 5 pounds. Coming and getting a really good facial is like losing 5 pounds.
Yeah.
It like jump starts the next 5 pounds. And getting a facial, it kind of jump starts that at-home regimen.
It does.
It makes you get on your game. A, you're like, I just spent money on this. Now I got to insure it. It's your insurance. And B, like, holy jeez, I look so much better after that.
Yeah.
Like, I need to take care of this and keep that going. So you're going to come in next week?
Yes.
Okay, and you're going to come back on our podcast?
Oh, yeah. This was, how long have we been?
I don't even know.
What time it is?
What time is it?
Sure.
How long have I been talking to Clarke?
Oh my gosh.
Our screen went blank.
I forgot this was even.
I did too. Our screen went blank. I forgot.
Love it.
Oh, hey, girl.
Has it been like an hour?
We obviously like each other. I thought we just got
Clearly.
started. I know, but I thought, okay, yeah, it's only been an hour. Perfect. So yeah, I definitely want you to come back. I want you to come and try a few of the new things. We're bringing some really cool new stuff that we found at the aesthetic show. I'm not going to tell you all of it yet. I just want you to come in and try it and then come back and talk about it.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm ready for it.
Cheers, girlfriend.
I'm not even halfway through this. Look at you. You're already there.
Don't forget to find us on social media. You can find me at marcie.therealmc and Clarke Finney.
Yeah, it's just Clarke Finney. So really simple. No dots, no ats, no backslashes.
Look for the
or
blue check.
colons.
Look for the blue check. She has the blue check, y'all.
But yeah, check me out. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook. I have a professional news account too on Facebook as well. But
watch you on the morning news. Hello.
And on the morning news. Yeah, I do that. I have to wake up early tomorrow. I'll be there tomorrow if you want to watch.
1:30. She'll be up.
1:30 in the morning. And this red wine, I don't know. We'll see. If my eyes look a little droopy tomorrow, though.
We got stuff to fix that, girl.
But yeah, you can watch me on Big 2. We're live at 5 a.m. We go from 5 to 7. And then Fox 24 is on Channel 24. And we start at 8 a.m. I'll be back there tomorrow feeling refreshed. And this was amazing.
Girlfriend, you are going places. I love watching you. On the Dr. Beck and I talk about it all the time. Like, we have to hold on to her while we've got her because she's going places. And so we love watching you and love being a part of all that you're doing over there.
You make me feel so at home. And this was awesome.
Same,
this is
girlfriend.
Therapeutic for me.
Same.
Yeah.
Thank
this
you.
Was my
I'm going to go be so mindful.
Yeah, being mindful and just being aware and being in the moment. I loved it. It was really good.
We're happy that we're practicing it.
Yeah.
And just just starting it.
Yeah. Starting it is where it counts.
Same.
Yeah.
Trickles over. Good night, y'all. Bye.